Imagine that you don't deal with any excuses, any bad feelings about everything that happens to your life. That's what I want for you. That's why I'm making this video about responsibility. And before we start, let me tell you this question: how would you define responsibility? Like obligation, maturing, punishment, accountability, or ability to react to things only you can control? Just think about it before we start. Hi, my name is Jacob and I would like to welcome you to my channel and also to this kind of niche responsibility. I will lean a lot on this book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. It's just overall a great book about this, and I will lean a lot on experiences and opinions of other people and also my own opinion. Chapter number 1: How to take responsibility. Before we start, let's make something clear. You can take responsibility for things that you just can't control, that you can't affect. And this can seem a bit confusing, so let me give you an example. You wanted to go out with someone and then you just can't, so you told them, sorry, I can go out with you. They felt offended and you felt bad. But of course they felt offended, you all feel offended too. That's not the mistake. The mistake is that you feel bad. You took responsibility for their emotions, their reactions, for the things that you just can't control. You can take responsibility for your speech. You can say it more politely, more respectfully, but you just can't take responsibility for their emotions. Sometimes you just try to take responsibility for other people's behavior, their emotions, their reactions. This is bad, and this can go too far that you can develop anxiety disorders and other problems that you just don't want in your life. So don't do this. Don't take responsibility for other people's behavior. But what I didn't know is that I can take responsibility for almost everything. And I learned this maybe a year after. So this is kind of hard, but let's practice it. The stock market is moving up and it's moving down, and you have some stocks. You lose the stocks and then you feel bad. It's a lesson. Life wanted to show something to you. That's when you took responsibility for your emotions. You can take responsibility for your reaction. How would you react to that stock market? That's the secret. You can take responsibility for everything. If someone is acting bad to you, you just can't change their behavior, but you can change your reaction to that behavior. You can feel like a stoic. Just say, okay, it's your thing. Or you can feel bad, you can make a drama out of it and just feel bad. This is kind of built to Stoicism, and Mark Manson said this quite well. Everyone was going different cars, someone worse, someone better. But it's only up to us how we're going to play the game. I know many people who are born with some kind of influence, some kind of disorder, and they just accepted it because they can't change the way they were born. It's just out of their control zone, so they didn't make any excuses. Just hard work, responsibility, and they are kind of more successful than the people without any disorders, without any influence. That's the beauty of responsibility. Look at me, I need to take responsibility for my yesterday self. Yesterday, I wanted to record this video, but I was lazy and I just went to gym and I just didn't do it. And now, I need to take responsibility for that. You see me crying here that I must record 2 videos today and not just 1. No, I just take responsibility for it and I'm going to make 2 videos because that's my fault. If you're not driving that car that you want, that's your fault. If you don't have that girl, that's your fault. If you don't have that body, that's your fault. Just take responsibility for it. Take responsibility for your action and change it, be better. That's the beauty of responsibility. It's just self-reflection. When you start taking responsibility for everything, you will not deal with any excuses, any limitations, any bad feelings about everything that can happen to you. I know these people born with some limitations could feel angry, sad, depressed. They just didn't. They took responsibility and they are successful. They would never be successful if they will be depressed and don't take responsibility for their lives. So just don't try to be a victim. You're not a victim. You need to take responsibility for your life. If life turns back on you, that's not your fault, but you need to accept it and make it better. Make yourself better. Make your life better. Make your income better. Your mindset better. Everything about yourself can be changed, and you can change it. but you need to take responsibility for your behavior. Chapter number 2. How responsibility works. And this is a kind of nerd speech, but we need to understand how this whole concept of responsibility works. The amygdala, that part of our brain that processes fear, is more active in people that tend to regularly blame others for their bad reactions. Functional MRI of 660 people at Duke University study showed that people are quick to blame, but slower to assign credit. In the case of helping, only 23% of people assumed that helping was intentional. The other 77% thought that the helping was unintentional. Blame and praise are processed in different parts of brain. Studies have shown that guilt comes from the emotional part of the brain, while praise comes from the logical part. This leads us to believe that good things happen by accident, while bad things are intentional. This tells us a lot about human behavior, and this can tend to that anxious thoughts and feelings. That's how accusation works, and let's think about it for a second because it's logical. The accusations spread like an avalanche because they protect our self-image. It's easier to blame others than to just take responsibility, but for the price of a degenerate mindset and low confidence. Of course, there are few ways how to practice responsibility, but the best one so far is self-reflection. Rate your actions. Doubt your actions. Think about your mistakes. There's nothing more important to a successful individual than to rate your actions, doubt your actions, and think about the mistakes and learn from them. I know this can hurt your ego, but you need to use your ego wisely. You need to use it like a fuel, like a motivation, but not like a cloak over your mistakes. When you're telling yourself you're the best, then be the best every day. Run more kilometers, lift more weights, do more work, but not just tell yourself, I'm the best, I don't need to do that work. That's cloaking your problems. And this can seem quite easy, but many people do it the wrong way. You have maybe many goals, but have you thought about the finish, about the whole goal concept? Or just the finish line? Let me give an example. The goal is to have a nice body, but that's not the goal. That's just the finish line. The goal consists of many smaller goals, like cut, bulk, and that's the whole process of going to that goal. That's the process of that goal, but not just the finish line. You set yourself some finish lines, but you don't even thought about the whole concept of goal. How will I train? When will I train? Will I even train? Do I want to train like a bodybuilder or a strongman, or I will do athletic bodybuilding? What will I eat? How often will I eat? I need to regulate my hydration, and I need to stretch or I will destroy my joints and overall body in a few years. I need to learn the technique and other etc. many things. That's the process of building that aesthetic body, not just the finish line. The main goal is not just an event, but a process. So divide that process into many small steps. This shows your dedication and also responsibility, because now you don't have in mind just that one finish line, but many small things, and this shows your responsibility that you take for this goal. Now you know how this whole responsibility process works. If I should give you just one information, it would be don't treat responsibility like obligation or punishment, but treat it like ability to react to things only you can control.